Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Ellis Nordhoff, and today I'm bringing you a preview for Everton versus Crystal Palace at Goodison Park on Saturday. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff. Oh, how we love those traditional kickoffs. We've missed them, haven't we? There's not been too many in recent years, really. It seems to be something that's rarer and rarer nowadays. But let's have a look at this game and talk about what's going to happen because I think Evertonians are feeling a little bit better in themselves after this week. Of course, the Freaking Group have announced that they will be, as long as they pass the FCA and Premier League approval, they will be taking over Everton, which is massive news for all of us. I'm sure you're all extremely pleased. I am. Just feels like maybe we've finally got that new dawn to be excited for, that light at the end of the tunnel. I know everyone's going to be saying it like that, but maybe it just is. Maybe we can finally have something to look forward to. And I think that's going to bring a real buzz around the club. So hopefully that can start on Saturday. I expect at Goodison it's just going to feel better. Everybody's going to feel a bit more upbeat about things. And just knowing that we might finally start to have a bit of a roadmap in place and some direction, it just could do the world of good for the team and the fans, really. So hopefully we can bring that into the game against Palace and go and beat them. But looking at Everton, of course, the game against Leicester, we should have won it. We were the better side, and we almost ended up losing it, which that was really poor in the end, and that was a worry. But largely in the performance, I thought we played very well. So that gives me a bit of hope for this game. And I think if we are going to beat Crystal Palace, we need to combine the first 80 minutes of the Bournemouth game at home and at least the first half of the Leicester game. I think that's got to be done if we want to go and beat Crystal Palace. But we've had a real boost in team news. So Vitaly Mikalenko, Idrissa Gana, Jared Branthwaite, and Nathan Patterson have all returned to full-time training now. So they should be in contention for the game at the weekend. We never know, do we really, with Sean Dyche and his Dyche fit level where players almost seem to have sat fit for a month before they can play a game. Fingers crossed they can all start here because what a difference. What a difference that would make for this team. To have Jared Branthwaite in that defence, imagine the buzz around Goodison just an hour before kickoff. I think finding that out would be brilliant, and that could be the thing that makes us get that first win of the season. So to see Jared in there would be brilliant. Idrissa Gana Gueye, it's another body as well. A good midfielder, whether he'll play, I'm sure I'll go into that on the starting 11 show. So make sure you check that one out after this. But it's just more options, isn't it? The fact that we've actually got bodies to put on that bench and to put in the team makes a whole lot of difference compared to Leicester, where you looked at our bench and it was full of kids, wasn't it? So that's a boost for Everton. As for Palace, Eddie Nketiah, new signing, started playing for them. I feel like the Palace fans are quite impressed with him. I was like impressed to see that they'd signed him because a player at Arsenal who really, I just thought he needed that club to go to and be the main man. Whereas at Arsenal, he's just surrounded by top players and he was never going to really stand out there. So he's definitely one to watch. As for Jean-Philippe Mateta, he was unbelievable at the end of last season, wasn't he? And he's not quite got going yet. I will be careful what I say here because we all know what could happen. He did score a couple of goals last week, so maybe he has got going now, but it's a physical striker, isn't it, that our physical defenders are going to have to deal with. That's without a doubt, we've got to do that. And then Eberechi Eze, he's the other one that stands out for me. Seems to always play well against us, often wins penalties too. So it's got to be no penalties, no fouling him outside the box, no fouling him inside the box. Just be very careful around Everett Chieze and I suppose try and push him out onto the wings rather than letting him dribble through your defense because you just can't afford to do that against him. So they've got a good side. They usually play five at the back, which I think is more of a three with two quite high fullbacks. So that's very different to what we play. It'll be interesting to see whether we actually match that up and maybe go five at the back ourselves, or if we'll just focus on our own performance. I certainly wouldn't be taking that risk and going five at the back at the moment, just because we had that good performance for most of the Leicester game that I wouldn't be ripping it up completely now, and that could potentially cause a bit of chaos for us. But they haven't had a great start. They've not won yet in the league either, and they've had one open play goal and one own goal, which so they've only scored one open play goal themselves. They got a penalty and a set piece with the other goal. So they're not prolific at the moment. They haven't won. So it's not a case of we're playing against a team full of confidence. So I feel like this represents a good opportunity for Everton to go and win this game and really just kickstart our season. They play a style which is obviously a bit more attacking than ours. When they are against teams who are down there struggling, they tend to have more of the ball. So I'd expect that here. Oliver Glasner's obviously a talented manager, and I feel like they still like him there at the moment. But they do play some long passes as well, actually. I was looking before, and they're third in accurate long balls in the Premier League so far. Of course, we are first, but that's interesting because you'd think they'd have more of the ball, but maybe they just get the balance right. Maybe they mix it up a bit, and that's one to be wary of because we know that they've got defenders who are good on the ball, like Mark Gahey, and now they've got Lacroix as well, the new signing. So that'll be interesting to see. But as for us, it's at Goodison. We're back at home. We've got two games at home in a row now. It's a chance to just get this season going, put the poor start behind us, and go and just get everyone back involved again, get the fans on the same page. And hopefully, with this great news of the Freaking Group, that could then just bring that unity that we need. And you imagine that it'd probably give the players a boost as well. The fact that the players now know that there is going to be some sort of stability, some structure in the club in the coming months, surely that makes them feel more safe in their jobs, perhaps, or not even safe in their jobs because you wouldn't want that, but just secure knowing that you're at a club that can go somewhere. I think that's a big thing. So fingers crossed that can improve them. As for Sean Dyche, I think he's really got to improve in his in-game management. We know that his substitutions haven't been right lately. So, first of all, he's got to set us up right against Palace. But it used to be that once we get the lead, we'd win and be fine. Whereas now it seems like we're tailing off at the end of the games, and that can't continue to happen. So Sean Dyche has got to get his substitutes right, and he's also got to make sure that we can see out games. That's what he's known for. That's what Sean Dyche became Everton manager for, to set up the team well, get the first goal, and then see it out. It's that pragmatic style of football that he's meant to be like, widely lauded for, really. So fingers crossed he can improve that because at the moment I think we haven't scored a goal in the last half an hour of a game, and I think we've conceded about nine. So that isn't looking good. So I think it's a case of getting that first goal and then pushing on to go and get the second. And the reason why I think we can do that more so in this game is because of that front four. Watching it against Leicester, that is the four that I would like to see going forward with Everton. Jesper Lindstrom, Dwight McNeil in the middle, Iliman and Dye on the left, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. I wouldn't even mind if McNeil and Ndiaye interchanged. I think that could be quite useful. But this is now an attack that you look at and go, it's quite an exciting attack, really. It's gone from being like strikers who our attackers who are so slow and just industrious and hard working, but not very. I wouldn't say not very talented, but they just don't have that X factor, do they? Whereas this lineup, I think it will be way more exciting. It offers way more of a problem for the opposition teams, and while you're worrying about Ndiaye on one wing, you've got Jesper Lindstrom making good runs on the other. And while Lindstrom isn't quite there yet, he's shown enough signs in that Leicester game for me that he should probably be playing for at least 75 minutes. So I'd be keeping both of them on because we've seen what happened when you take both of them off. We've got to keep both of them on for the majority of the game and just make sure that Dominic Calvert-Lewin isn't isolated. And I think that system, by using those three players behind him, will help that. And that could be the way that we get past Crystal Palace, get that first goal, and then get the second. Rather than missing all these chances, which we're known for doing, get the second and kill the game. And I can hear you all in the comments already saying the second might not be enough. It's got to be. This Sean Dyche team, especially if it's got Jared Branthwaite, should be able to see out a game once they're 2-0 up. It's not sustainable, is it? It's not sustainable to have to score 3 or 4 goals just to win a game. So that isn't going to happen. We're going to get 2 goals and then we're going to see it out. So if I was to make a prediction for this game, I'm going to say we're going to finally get our first clean sheet of the season and we're going to win 2-0 because Jared Branthwaite's back and what a difference that'll make. Yes, we shouldn't rely on him. Absolutely, we should not rely on him. We should have a defensive structure that works with or without him, but it's just going to be a massive boost. It'll calm everyone down, it'll calm Pickford down, and it will just bring that boost to the fans, the players, and everybody. So I think we're going to win. Let me know what you think. Do you think we can go and finally get those 3 points at Goodison and then even back it up, perhaps? It's a massive game because if we win this, the point against Leicester doesn't look quite as bad. I think we can do it. You tell me if you think you can. But that wraps up the preview for today. Any Palace fans as well, tell us what you think, what you've made of Everton's start so far, and how you think you guys will do in the game as well. But I hope you've enjoyed. Please do leave a like, subscribe. But that's all for now on the Toffee Blues. See you later.